All right, boom. We are live. Welcome, 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 OVF family, to another Thursday night live stream training. And as always, I am your host, Chris Celeste, with my partner in crime. If you want to unmute and introduce yourself real quick, brother.
What's up? Liam Weisner here. Happy to be here and happy to help serve all of you guys in this group.
Boom. So let me just double check and make sure everyone can see me and hear me okay before I start diving into all the details here tonight. I'm actually going to jump over into the group, make sure that we are streaming live for you. I know there were many people who were excited about tonight. Many people reached out and many people voted. So I know a lot of people are going to be here tonight to take part in that as well. So super excited for all of you to come in. As you're coming in, say what's up, say where you're coming in from. Let us know who's here. If you happen to catch us on the replay, just put hashtag replay in the beginning of the message. Like I always tell you guys, Liam and I, we care about you guys. So we go through the comments even after the live stream. Like we really want to make sure we're meeting you where you're at and giving you the value you need and like what you need to move forward. So even if you're watching on the replay, interact as if you are here live, and we'll be able to answer those questions and make sure that we are delivering all that value here for you tonight and even into the future. So with all that being said, I always have one little bit of housekeeping to go. And since our group is constantly growing, we're well over 500 members now. I just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So when you are commenting on the posts in this group, when I'm streaming on S.M.A.R.T.E.R, and S.M.A.R.T.E.R needs permission from Facebook to use your likeness, to use your name and picture that you use to represent yourself on your Facebook profile. Now, as people start to comment and say hi, say what's up, say where they're coming in from, I'll be able to show you exactly what that looks like. I have a little bit of a delay on my side, so it takes a little while for me to see the comments, which is fine. We just deal with it. We interact a little bit slower, which is great for someone slow like me. And, just when it does happen, though, I'll be able to actually show you who's interacting, and I'll even be able to show you an example if someone hasn't done it. Again, the reason we want this, guys, is so that we can interact directly with you. We built a veteran group so we can be with our other veterans and interact with them and being able to provide value to you. And if we don't know who you are, it's kind of like talking to any old civilian, right? It's not there's really no connection there. And so all that being said, click the link that's in this post that gives S.M.A.R.T.E.R permission for Liam and I to know exactly who's talking to us. And that way, when I start posting your comments and sharing with you and engaging with you directly, Liam and I can know exactly who we're talking to. With all that being said, guys, I am really, really excited about tonight's training. I know Liam is too. We took as always, looking for ways to deliver more value to you guys to make sure that we're being as effective as possible. And Liam and I are always meeting behind the scenes to make sure that is really what's happening. And the next two trainings that we have lined up for you guys are going to blow your mind. So if you guys have not had a chance to really attend any of these live and really be a part of it, I definitely recommend you at least make it into this one and the next one, because what we have planned for you is going to be value packed. All that being said, what I want to really lay down for you guys here tonight, and what we're really going to go through, just to kind of give you a future pace of what we're going to do here tonight. First off, we're going to start with a really serious question that I believe needs to be answered, not only answered, but truly defined for you, so that you can have crystal clarity in your decision and make an educated one moving forward. After that, we really need to discuss the why and why that's so powerful, and the multiple ways in which that really is everything and the most important thing that we move forward with in life and business. And then after we establish all of those things, sorry guys, I have a hair in my eye. We will be diving into smarter goals. So if you guys are familiar with personal development, any corporate structures where they do a lot of team building, they have a thing called SMART goals that they do in that environment. A very good mentor of mine, someone who has drastically helped me change my life, introduced me to something called smarter goals. And that's something that Liam and I are going to be walking you through here in the second part of the training tonight to actually help you build a 30-day goal that you can take action on the minute you walk off this call tonight. And then obviously at the end of this call here tonight, we have our amazing contest winners who are going to be announced for taking, all you had to do is take part in our poll this week, help us be able to deliver value to you at the right day, right time, so that the most people could get, that value to them. And for those of you who, contributed, for those of you who engaged with that, I have a list of all of your names. I'll be showing it to you, sharing my screen live here. At the end of the call, you'll see all the names that were listed. I believe there was 23 people who voted, who put their names in. And of those 23 people, 3 lucky winners will get a free product from Liam and I off of our online stores. I'll be sharing a catalog, actually 3 catalogs with you, in which you'll be able to choose any one product from them that you want at no price, no cost of you, and I'll ship it directly to your door, and you get to be able to benefit from it just for engaging in our post. We'll be doing that again at the very end of tonight's call, and celebrating for just being a part of OVF and really helping this mission moving forward. So all that being said, that's really what we're going to be diving in tonight. And we have someone who has shared and benefited me. So I appreciate whoever this is, because as you can see, it says Facebook user and has no picture. That is why Liam and I asked of you to go into the post and click on the blue link for StreamYard, because it'll allow us to actually see who you are, actually see your likeness, engage with you directly. And, that's really why we have OVF, guys. I'll say it again. I already said it once, but I'll just say it again really quick. We do this so we can surround ourselves with the people that mean the most to us, the people, the community that we want to make the biggest impact on. And that's because we personally come from that community and are ones that thought that we could never be where we are today. And if we can do it, you can do it. And I really want to be able to engage with you and talk with you and share with you directly, not just Facebook user. All right, so with all that being said, let's dive into tonight's content. I'm super excited about tonight. This is a realm that I dove into very, very deeply about 3 years ago now. And it has been something that has really, really benefited me. And I've pursued it with a passion ever since. But before we really dive into that, there's one main question that we need to answer. There's one main thing that we need to define, and a question you need to answer for yourself before we really even set a goal. Because honestly, a lot of people out there like the idea of being an entrepreneur. A lot of people out there like the idea of being their own boss and setting their own schedule, until it's time to actually do the work that it takes to be that person, to actually be accountable and disciplined and move forward. Because here's the thing, guys. There's a big difference between an entrepreneur and an employee. There's a big difference between the mindset and the accountability that it takes to be one or the other. And Liam, will you do me a favor, brother? Unmute for a second and please give our amazing members some insight on the difference.
Okay. For an entrepreneur, a lot of people think an entrepreneur is just working for yourself, right? Being your own boss, setting your schedule, like Chris said. But that's not the case. An entrepreneur in those circumstances that sees problems, those are not entrepreneurs. The real entrepreneurs that actually have the title entrepreneur are the ones that see solutions where everyone else sees problems. So until you get your mindset right, have listed goals, and know everything that you are about, you will never be an entrepreneur. You're muted, Chris.
Well, what I was saying is that was perfectly said. And if there's one thing I would add to that, is that when it comes to being an entrepreneur, right, there's no obstacle that stops us. We have a vision and a drive to achieve a goal, in our case, a mission, a movement, that literally nothing will stop us. There is no obstacle, wall, whatever you want to call it, that's going to stop Liam and I or anybody else that has that same level of drive and desire from achieving the ultimate goal, from accomplishing the mission. There is nothing that'll stop us, where someone who might think they're an employee will stop at the first obstacle they hit. So there's a big difference, right? Big difference. And one of the main things, like Liam was just saying when he was talking about clarity, that really helps the entrepreneur set themselves apart from the everyday 9-to-5 worker or the employee or the, you know, the corporate executive, if you will. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Caden, I'm in the middle of a meeting, bud. Thank you. I love being a father. Absolutely every day. Oh man, if that boy brings me so much joy. All he wants to do is show his grandparents his tortoise that is in my office. That's why he was in here. I apologize, guys, but I don't. Sorry, not sorry. I love my kid. I love what he's about. And that's just who he is. So, like I was saying though, guys, there's one thing that really allows the entrepreneur to set themselves apart from the employee, from the executive, you know, corporate executive, from the everyday hustle bustle drone style of just moving through life. And what is that, right? What is that? Well, it's the title of the training tonight. It's one of the main things we're going to dive into. And that is someone's why, right? The reason why we do anything. Now, I'm looking for some engagement, guys. I'm looking for some interaction. I want to hear from you guys right now in the comments. Let me know. Do you know what your why is? Do you understand it? Do you understand what drives you? If you do, put a 1. If you don't, put a 0.
More importantly, in knowing your why is everything. If you don't have a big enough why, you cannot accomplish the hard, difficult things in life. That is what it is all about, is knowing your why. You can accomplish anything with your why.
100%. Ethan's got his why. Facebook user has their why. People have their why, man. And that's important, guys. I'll tell you. I was going to say I'll tell you why, but that would be just too many whys. So the thing is, right, at the end of the day.
Why?
Why? The thing is, at the end of the day, let's look at successful businesses. Let's look at it from a business standpoint really quick. Successful business that exists today. Businesses that start with their why outlast anything that exists and makes more revenue. Perfect example, Apple computers. Apple computers is a perfect example of this. Now, I know there's going to be some Mac users on here tonight who are going to get upset because that's what Mac has built, an entire culture of people that regardless of facts are hell-bent that they are the best. And that's great. That's perfect. That is starting with your why. Here's the facts, though, guys. Apple laptops are not superior to PC. When you look at the same exact models and what they can do, PC beats Apple hands down, and Apple costs 3 times as much. Big, big money. But people will wait in line for days to get a new Mac product, to get a new Apple product. Why? Because Apple led with why, right? You'll have other companies out there. So there's 3 things that a company tells everybody they can do. And unfortunately, most companies, most people, most marketers tell people these things in the wrong order, right? It's at this, if you look at it like a bullseye, if I can borrow Simon Sinek's analogy for just 1 second, you have 3 consecutive rings going in like a bullseye, right? The very center ring being your why, the outside being how you do it, and then the very very, very outside ring being exactly what you do, right? Most companies start from the outside and work their way in. They tell you what they do. They tell you how it's going to benefit you and how it's so much better than everybody else out there. And then they kind of tell you why it's important to you, right? Those companies, they fade out as fast as they start, if they ever get success in the first place, and they don't last. Why? Because people are emotional beings, and we don't care about the how. We don't care about the what. We care about the why. People will buy far less superior products because they have a much more emotional connection to it. Because the why is stronger. Guys, Apple, again, is the greatest example of this. And here's the thing. If you look at if you look at OVF or DVI or any of the companies I have founded in the last 3 years, if you look at any of the things that I have done, you will notice that majority of my post descriptions, things I do, start with, I believe. Why? Because I truly believe that my mission to change veterans' lives using the same exact skill set that I used when I believed there was no hope for my future is the best way to change the entire community of disabled veterans and veterans post-war without having to drastically put them through all the other things that were necessary, like college, like being out there and interacting with people, like having to battle their PTSD head on before they ever saw success, right? I had a burning why, and I led with it. And it brought me great fulfillment in life, great success in life. And honestly, like, I get you guys, and I'm so happy about that, right? Because I led with my why. Now, let's look at that for a second on the other aspect. Like, there's people on this call right now that I know for a fact I've had conversations with. And I said to them, I asked them straight out, you know, what about OVF drew you to it? You know what they said? Something about what you said drew, like, it was a calling for me. Your mission called me in. Guys, you don't do that when you lead with what or how. You do that when you lead with why. And so I'm going to beat on why for a while here, probably for the first half of our training, because it really is so important. Not only, guys, can your why help you accomplish any obstacle in your path? Like, you know, you've heard that a million times, I'm sure, right? If your why is strong enough, no obstacle will stop you. It's true. It's really true. It's true for a reason. But it goes way deeper than that. It goes to be so much more than that. Because your why really is your business. Your why really is your calling. Your why is what you do. And so when you know your why, when you have a firm why, nothing will stop you and your business will flourish. Liam, do you have anything you want to add on that before I go a little bit deeper into, you know, establishing that?
Yeah. I'm not sure if you've heard this. You probably have. But do you know what most people said when they bought the Apple products? Why it made sense to them?
Let's hear it.
It just felt right because they couldn't put it into words why it made sense to them. Because it's part of the primitive brain where the emotion centers are. Because again, everything is tied to emotion. If you have a strong enough why, you can overcome the stupidest of things.
Yeah.
And by stupid, I mean large.
Absolutely.
Obscene.
And so, you know, Patrick's saying he's about 50% sure, but he's not 100% clear on his why. You got Ethan who's saying his why is to overcome doubt every day. Now, I'm glad that you brought that up, Ethan, because that is a great why, but I believe you can make it more personable. I believe you can make it bigger. I believe you can make it so much more than yourself that even if you're having a bad day, that you are driven to get up and make it happen regardless. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about next. I want to talk to you is about establishing your why and cementing, really locking it in. And Liam hit it perfectly in just a few words. Make it specific, right? Perfect example, probably the one I hear the most. Man, why did you start your business? Oh, well, I needed to make more money. Well, that's great, man. But at the end of the day, if you're in marketing and sales, you understand that nobody wants more money. They only want what that money provides them. Right? It's never about the money. It's about what they want to do with the money, what it will afford them, what it will allow them to do. Maybe it's providing a better life for their family. Maybe it's making sure that they have food on the table. Maybe it's providing that paying their parents' mortgage, right? That's a huge thing. I pay my father's rent every month. I never thought that was going to be possible. Now I do it without even thinking because I wanted to. That was something I wanted to do. Like when I started to sit down and think about all the ways I could give back after I made myself successful, you know what one of the things I wrote down before I ever made $1 was? Pay my parents' way. Give back to them for what they've done for me and make sure that they live a comfortable later life. Now, my father's a little worse off than my mother, so I'm paying his way. My mother's way too independent. When she retires, totally taking over. She won't even have a choice. But guys, like when I stepped forward and wanted to start a business, my why was tiny. My why was tiny. You know what my why was? My why was I wanted to be able to make money to supply the lifestyle I had built for my family and actually be a part of it. That's what I wanted. That's all I wanted. That was my why. But I'll tell you what ended up happening. As I developed myself more, as I realized my potential, as I started to gain more confidence and skills, and the more people I helped, I started to realize that my why had nothing to do with my family. Being completely honest with you guys, I love them to death. They're very, very high on my values, but they're not my why. They're not. Like if my family's life just being good was okay, I never would have went online. I was already providing them a 6-figure life before I stepped online. I was running an auto glass business that allowed me to have money, but I just didn't have any time. I wasn't with my family. So money wasn't the thing, right? It just wasn't the thing. So what was it for me? And I had to go deep and I had to figure it out. And I found it through service to my fellow veterans. I found it through helping people who were just like myself, sitting on a couch in an apartment, wondering, is this as good as it's ever going to get? Is my disability really going to keep me locked in this house forever? And when I get to talk to other veterans and they're in that exact same place, and I get to provide them hope through a skill set that I get to use to provide myself hope every day, that's my why. That's what gets me out of bed every morning. That's why I answer every message. That's why I post almost every day. That's why you receive emails from me all the time. Like, I do this because it's my why. How I do it? I team up with amazing veterans like Liam. I share my value. I share my knowledge. I build groups. I build communities. I build courses. Now, yes, some of these are paid. That's okay. I run businesses. I'm okay with charging for my value. I'm okay with charging for my knowledge. I'm okay with charging because I understand that brings a whole nother level to your commitment, your desire, and what you'll do with it. But at the end of the day, whether I make money on it or not, I'm still getting up. I'm still in the groups. I'm still sharing because it's my why. The compensation I receive is just a bonus. Liam, share a little bit, man, on your why.
When I first started about 2 years ago, it was very much the same as yours. I was unsuccessful with that as well. And then once I just started doing it in service of just because I want to make the community safer and the people have something legitimate and tangible to be able to protect their homes. That's how I got started in the home security. And by offering a superior product that actually did what it was supposed to do versus some cheap little bullshit. I'm not going to start name calling actual company names and shit, but their stuff is garbage. It's really bad. But after I figured out that I need to help instead of just doing it for a greedy, selfish purpose, like making money, then I started having success because I was helping people. I would walk 13 miles a day with my bad back and I had blisters on my feet constantly. my girlfriend had like tubs of water sitting in the house when I got home just so I could soak my feet. And then I'd go back and do it again 6 days a week. And never home, always out. But now I get to help my fellow veterans, and I get to do it from home, hanging out with family. I'm with the kids, my girlfriend's kids. I don't have kids. My girlfriend's got kids. But I'm with them all day long while they're doing their homeschooling and everything like that. And it wouldn't be possible with what I was doing before. This is the only thing that has made that possible. And so I get to be here, and eventually I'm going to retire my girlfriend.
Bro, that's so great to hear that you have that level of support. That's a huge piece, right? You know, not every person has it at home, but every person has that inside of OVF. You know, I'm not going to be pouring water for you for your feet at night because I don't live in your home. But tell you what, if you're struggling, if you're having a hard time, if you're hitting an obstacle or an objection, or just struggling in life and business, I'm only ever one message away.
And you've already proven that multiple times. I've hit stupid walls, like things that didn't even make sense to me in the past, and you were right there to help me. And I moved over it quite quickly, just because I was able to rely on your expertise, just because you've been doing this just a little bit longer than I have.
That's it, just a little bit longer. That's all. No, I mean, I appreciate you saying that, because I was actually going to say, if you ask anybody I've worked with, but then someone I worked with stepped up, so I didn't have to. And let's just go over some whys real quick, because I noticed we're starting to get a lot of engagement now. And we got Facebook user here saying his kids are his why, and that's an amazing why, man. I'll tell you right now, my son Caden being born started my entrepreneurial journey. Children are an amazing why, and something that in my life I highly value as well. We've got another one saying, when I'm successful, I want to pay my dad's house off. Talking about, along the same lines of giving back and contributing, like I was talking about. We got another one. My why is completing college and finding a different job that fills my cup. Not sure what it is yet. And that's fine. That's why we're bringing this up here tonight, is majority of the people that we work with, that we talk to, we help them establish and find their why, because a lot of people don't ever figure this out for themselves. There's certain questions, and there's like a values training and things that we dive into in our business breakthrough sessions and in different areas that really help you understand these things. But what's up? Oh, sorry. I thought you were
blowing a kiss to my girlfriend.
Oh, I thought you were waving to me. My bad.
No.
Caught me off guard for a second. But that we help you really establish these things, because the thing is, majority of people out there, one, don't know what fuels their fire first off, let alone knows why they're passionate about that thing in the first place. Like, we're so far disconnected from who we are and what we love. It's crazy. Like, me and Liam help so many people just reconnect to that. It's insane. So, and we got David here. He's saying, my why is my family and to one day give back to other vets. So guys, understanding your why, very, very powerful thing. And we got Mike. What up, Mike? I haven't seen you in forever. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope Colorado's beautiful this time of year. Let's see who else we got. Thanks, Mike, for letting us know. Michael Erickson saying, I'm just one of them Facebook users, but I haven't registered, so just know it's me. Appreciate you, Mike, for letting us know. But here's the thing, guys. Your why has to be specific. Your why has to be bigger than you. And your why has to be the driving force of everything you do. Now, we don't have time here tonight to really deep dive into helping you find out what that why is. But what I will say to you guys is that I really encourage you to take some time, whether on your own or reach out to Liam and I and get yourself hooked up so we can help you. But take some time to really cement in and lock in, what do I want to make? What kind of impact do I want to make on this world? What is bigger than me that I can attach myself to? Kids is one of them, guys. Kids is bigger than you. It doesn't have to be a monumental vision like mine. It could be your children. It could be, living without PTSD. It could be a lot of different things, right? I would get a little bit more specific about the ailments and the things you want to actually see with PTSD, but it could still be that. But you want to be really specific, guys, and take the time to lock these things in, because here's the thing. What we're about to walk through in the next 30 minutes is going to be life-changing if you take it seriously and you apply your why. I'll tell you really quickly before we dive in, just a quick personal story from when I did this exercise the first time. Now, when I did this exercise the first time, it was the time table was a little bit different, but everything else still applies, and I'll explain to you why. Now, the first time I ever went through this goal, I went to my very first personal development seminar, and sitting there, I was thinking to myself, I'm making a few $1,000s a month, getting some success. I'm obviously at that personal development seminar because I know there's blocks. I know PTSD is stopping me. I know there's things I got to work on. I know there's got to be a way for me to break through, and I'm willing to work on that. I'm willing to be uncomfortable, be afraid in order to break through and get through. So I'm there. I'm working on this thing. And I'm in a group of 5 people, and they ask me to set this goal, to set a smarter goal. And I'll break all that details down for you in a second. But they asked me to set a smarter goal for myself. And initially, when I sat down, I said to myself, you know what? I want to make $10,000 a month. Now, granted, back then, this is January of 2018. I have never made $10,000 a month yet. This is not a normal for me yet. Like, I don't understand that much money in a single month yet. And I say to my group, I want to make $10,000 a month. I think that'd be life-changing money. That it would just be really great to do that. And my group looked at me and they said, "Way to play small." Think about that for a second. They don't know me, but for several hours. But when I said to them, all I wanted to do was make $10,000 a month, that was my goal. They told me to stop playing so small. I bring that up to you guys because what happened next radically changed the course of my life, and it can for you as well. Here's what happened next for me. I took them seriously. I said, okay, you guys wouldn't be saying this to me if you didn't see something in me I don't see yet in myself. Taking you guys for what you're saying. In the environment we're in, you're not trying to sabotage me. This is true feedback. I'll take it. Where do you see me playing small? And so the feedback that I received was, you have a powerful voice. You have a powerful story. You have radically transformed your life. What do you think you could do with that? They didn't give me the solution. They gave me some questions, which is probably why anytime you talk to Liam and I, we ask you questions because we don't want to give you the answer. We want you to discover it for yourself, just like these fine people did for me. I'm still friends with quite a few of these people, by the way. Very, very good friends. And what ended up happening was I realized that a guy who could go from being 19 years old with a TBI, being told by doctors that I would never achieve success, never be able to regulate my emotions, have trouble with memory, speech, and cognitive abilities for the rest of my life, to be able to not only build one successful business, but then transform into a completely different industry, learn a whole new skill set, and begin making money as quickly as 4 months. Not only did I do that, but I established a relationship that's been ongoing since I was 17 years old. I'm able to influence and communicate and connect with people in a room that I didn't even know I could do. And so when I started to really take all these things in and I started to really realize my power, I set a brand new goal for myself. You know what I said? I went after the thing that scared me the freaking most. I said to them, when this goal is said and done, I will have spoken on stage in front of hundreds of people and shared my story and made a positive impact on their life because I did so. 3 months later, I was on a stage doing exactly that. And I haven't stopped since. Think about that for a second. I was too scared to go shopping for myself. I was terrified of being in public. I was terrified of crowds and strangers. But I set this goal for myself and I saw it through. And now I live a life today I couldn't even have dreamed previously. Now, let me know right now in the comments, guys, before we even go into these goals. Is that something you want? Do you want the ability to set a goal for yourself that might be, in your mind, insanely unachievable? Something that you can never even see yourself doing because it's that scary. But then do it and completely change your life. If that is you, you guys are in for a treat in the next 20 minutes. Well, next 15 minutes probably, because we got 5 minutes. We got at the end where we're going to do some winners and some prizes. But if that's you guys, drop a 2 in the comments for me right now. And we are actually going to dive into establishing the same goals, the same structure goal that I did that very day back in January of 2019 or 2018. Sorry.
Well, shit, I think I just learned something new about you. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that before.
A man of many dimensions.
Oh, yeah. That's what makes this interesting.
Guys, take that statement into your mind for a second and realize this. Liam and I run a business together, talk to each other every day, are friends and colleagues, peers in the industry. We've never met in person, and he just discovered something new about me. Think about that. You don't need to know the deep inner workings of every single person you operate and help. You don't. You just need to make the tiniest of impacts that change their lives, and you are on the right path. So we got a lot of 2s dropping in, and Mike's even letting us know it's Mike now. I love it. I love it. Just love it. I love so much of it. We had one more. Nature is my why. To help connect my family and my community to nature spaces and empowering them to become more self-sufficient. I don't know who you are because you're a Facebook user, but when I unplug, and many of you guys already know this about me, but when I unplug, when I get away from business and social media and the hustle and bustle and the fast-paced, ever-evolving world that we live in now, nature is always where I go. It isn't the movies. It isn't a beach in Hawaii. It's usually some mountain retreat somewhere. Occasionally it is a beach, because I do like those too. But
you can do both in Hawaii, just saying. Hawaii is like a tropical paradise. Like, there's areas that have never seen life of man in years.
I've never been. My first trip to Hawaii was supposed to be April of this year for a speaking engagement that I had lined up. And then the entire event got canceled because of COVID. So I still have never been to Hawaii, but it'll come. All right.
I've got a cherry blossom for every year I live there.
Awesome. So we got 2s are just rolling in. People are ready to rock. We will not keep you guys waiting any longer. Let's set ourselves a smarter goal. Now, SMART-E.R is an actual acronym, guys, as you probably can tell. If you want to take a piece of paper and a pencil right now and write SMART-E.R down it, S.M.A.R.T.E.R, I'll tell you exactly what each one of them are, and then I'll go back through and define them for you so you understand exactly what I mean by them, so you can really set yourself up best for success. So here we go. S, smart. M, I'll go a little bit slower. M, measurable. A, attainable. R, risky, or risk, whichever one you want to put. T stands for time. E stands for exciting. And R stands for relevant. I'll give you guys 1 second to write those all down. If you need one repeated, I will be going back through them as I define them for you. So have no fear. I'm just going to take a sip of water. My mouth is getting dry, and then we'll dive in. All right. So number 1, SMART. What does that even mean, right? What does SMART mean? Well, it means it's actually going to advance your life. It means that it's going to benefit you in some way, right? We're not going to set a goal that's going to be, well, I'd really like to learn Spanish in the next 30 days, but I have no use for it. I'm not traveling anywhere. I'm not going to be talking to anybody in it. It's just something I want to do. It might not be the smartest of goals to pick right now, right? Also, when we get into relevancy, it probably isn't very relevant either. Another one I want to mention when it comes to being smart is when we look at life and business, there's always something new we're learning. There's always something new we're pushing towards, right? Even for myself right now, I am a master marketer. I know that for a fact. I can put on an ad and drive traffic, hands down, without fail. I can do that. Selling people on a phone, not so good at. I don't like having to convince people. If you can't see the value in what I'm saying to you, I'm moving on to someone who can. I'm not the big objection handler. That's not an area in which I'm strongest. So what am I doing? I'm becoming stronger there. Now, I have been marketing for a while. And I want to mention one quick thing because I think people are going to get hung up on this. I just mentioned I am working on making one of my weaknesses a strength. Something that I am not so strong in yet, something that I am better at. That is, 90% of the population, that's what we strive towards, right? But what I will tell you is what I did first was I got better at my strengths. Guys, I'm a natural speaker. My voice, and I'm not saying this to brag or boast. This is pure feedback I've gotten from mentors, colleagues, students, anybody I've worked with. I have a voice. It carries, it's commanding. It's my best strength. It's why I pursue public speaking. It's why I get on these calls. It's why I'm an educator, a speaker, and I share the way I do. I developed my strengths first. So when it comes to being smart, I would ask you, 1, is it actually something that's going to move the needle forward in your business, in your life? 2, is it something you're already naturally gifted at that you can then master and move on to something else? That's what I mean when I say smart. The next thing I want to talk to you about is measurable. Now, this might be self-explanatory, but I'll break it down anyway. Liam has probably heard me say this a million times. The things that are measured can be improved. Data, analytics, they exist for one purpose: measuring progress, understanding where we are so we know how to get where we want to go. And if we can measure something, we can truly track its progress. Not only can we celebrate the micro wins along the way, which keeps us fueled and fired and running forward, but it also allows us to improve it. It allows us to get better at it. It allows us to maybe even blow our goal out of the water. Guys, I had a goal set for myself when I first started. 90-day goal that I wanted to be able to break free, make all these different things happen. The main the logistics of the goal might not make sense to you, but I'll share them anyway. In the company I was working for at the time, I wanted to be able to make 8 sales per day, every day, consistently. And I wanted to be able to do that in under 90 days. I did it in 60 because I was measuring it, I was adjusting it, and I was improving it. The same thing can happen for you when you set a goal that is truly measurable. So that's why we have M, measurable. Attainable. Let me ask you a quick question before I dive into this. Who thinks making $1 million in the next 30 days is attainable? Put yes in the comments right now if you believe making $1 million in the next 30 days is attainable.
We talking legally here?
Of course, absolutely legally. We got a Facebook user saying yes. Anybody else? The answer is yes, just so you know, right? So, many variables will go into that, but the absolute answer is yes. You could start a business tomorrow for, matter of fact, for free. I know of one. For free. And if you had the desire, the coachability, and the willingness to do what it took to achieve that and follow the laid out game plan, 100% yes, you could achieve it. It's attainable. Is it realistic with, maybe you have no money to invest in a business. Maybe you don't have time. Maybe there's a lot of different things, right? Is it realistic? Maybe not. So when I say attainable, what I want to say to you, what I want you to keep in mind is that there is realistic, then there's attainable, and then there is just completely fantasy, right? What we're looking for is actually attainable. Realistically, yes, everybody on this call can make $1 million in 30 days. Myself included, Liam included, anybody on here, from myself all the way down to somebody who's never marketed a day in their life. Possible. But is it attainable? Is it even something you really want? Is really what you got to ask yourself too. But that's not part of attainable. So can you truly get it? Is it something you can truly achieve? Now, just for the sake of jumping ahead real quick, we're going to go to T, which was time, and we're just going to let you know that this goal, like we said in the post, is going to be 30 days, right? So you have 30 days to achieve this goal. We'll share more on that a little bit later, but I just wanted to make you guys understand before I keep mentioning 30 days and never went to time, so I want you guys to have clarity on that. What I mean by 30 days is the amount of time that you're going to set for you achieving this goal. However, let's go back up real quick because we did skip R, which was risky, right? That's something that was what those people in that room that day, those 4 other people in that room that day said to me. Chris, you're playing too small. There's not enough risk involved. You're already going to make $10,000 a month. Regardless, that's going to happen. You're on that trajectory. You're on that trajectory. You have the skills, you have the know-how, you have the right mentors, and you have the drive. You're already going to do that. Why play so small when you can play so big, when you can do so much more? And so I had to put risk into my goal. And I couldn't think of a more risky thing than doing the one thing that I was most afraid of. Maybe for some of you guys on this call right now, taking a leap of faith into a digital business is a risk. Maybe even believing Liam and I is a risk. Who knows where you're really at right now when it comes to your level of risk aversity and risk tolerance? We don't know. We only know from our interviews and actually having a conversation with you. Most of you guys on the call right now, we haven't had that conversation with yet. And so What I ask of you is you know your own risk level better than Liam and I ever will at this current point. And so I ask you, if it makes you scared, if it makes you a little bit sweaty in the armpits, hands be sweating, knees be shaking, vomit on the sweater, mom spaghetti. Gonna wrap some M&M real quick. If that's happening to you,
I was gonna say that.
but here's the thing: like all jokes aside, guys, you know Liam and I like to have a good time. But all jokes aside, it has to scare you. If you're gonna do this right, it has to scare you a little bit. It has to be something like the quote on the caption of this video said, if you're already doing what you know you can do, it's not really like you need to do the things that scare you, right? You need to do the things. Of course, my mind's going to fail me right now on the exact quote, but that's fine. You guys get the gist of it. You got to do the things that scare you. So let's jump down now. We did T. Let's jump to E, which is exciting. Guys, at the end of the day, we want to do things that get us excited. We want to do things that make us happy, bring joy and fulfillment to our lives. Now, granted, not every goal we do, especially when it comes like, let me think of some of the harder ones. Weight loss, relationships, communication, things like that. Like when people set goals for those, they might not be very exciting. The idea of doing them might not be very exciting, but I want you to think about it this way. Is the outcome, the result of achieving the goal, is that going to get you excited? Because that is what we're striving for. Getting uncomfortable through the process is just the process. But when we come out the other side, the reward we receive for going through that process, does that excite you? Because if it does, you're going to be way more likely to actually go and get it. And then the last one, R, is relevant. This kind of ties back into like the SMART I was talking to you a little bit earlier. But basically, like, what's going on in your life right now? Obviously, you did not join OVF because you wanted to be someone's employee. You did not join OVF because you're happy collecting a disability check. You did not join the OVF because life is good right now. You joined OVF because you wanted more. You wanted better. You wanted a community of veterans to, lock arms with you and show you the way, guide you, and support you. Obviously, that's what you wanted. So set a goal relevant to that. Don't waste this opportunity and tell yourself, oh, I'd really love to talk to my dad more. So in the next 30 days, I'm going to make sure that I do that. Guys, that's a great goal. But is it relevant to what we're doing, what we're trying to achieve here? Like, relationships, fundamental part of life. But when your finances are handled, all that stuff becomes a lot easier. And so make it relevant, make it important to you. You got 30 days to do it. Let it scare you. Make sure it's attainable and make sure you can measure it. Because again, when you can measure something, you can improve it. Let me know, guys, if you received value from the Smarter training here tonight. Drop value in the comments for me. We've got about 5 minutes left, and we've got a very important drawing to do. So drop value in the comments for me. I'm going to take a sip of water, and then I'm going to pull up everything we need to do our live drawing.
Oh, I'm excited for this. Let's see. Who's it going to be?
So we have 3 lucky winners tonight. All 3 winners are going to get the opportunity to choose one product from our online stores, free of cost, and shipped directly to their door, courtesy of Liam and I, for engaging and participating and allowing us to deliver the most effective value to you. And so let me pull up the document with everybody's names in it, and then I will share my screen so you guys can see live exactly who wins. Just give me 1 second. It's loading.
Do, 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 do.
Yep. All right, here we go. Hey. C. All right, so let us share. Let me know, guys, in the so much value. Thank you guys so much for we got our comments are delayed on our side, so we didn't even know you guys were dropping those. Let me share real quick. Mike was saying so much value. David said value. Bryce said value. Patrick said value. Facebook user said value. And other Facebook users said value. It was interesting and relatable. I'm going to mute you real quick because I'm getting feedback of my voice off your mic. But here's the thing. Can you guys see my screen right now? Am I sharing it? Okay. It's still loading. Just give me 1 second. Let me know when you guys can see my screen, and we will go from there. Let me know, Liam, because all I can see right now is the name generator.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay.
Random name selector.
Perfect. This is the 21 people who participated in the poll that we had go out last week. Every one of these people is going to be eligible for this drawing. We're going to do one person at a time. And without further ado, let's get a drum roll, and we will. Come on. Sorry, guys. Let me get rid of this box out of my way. Let's pick our first name. So, drum roll. Our first winner is Michael Erickson. Michael Erickson, you are the first winner of the free product.
Yeah.
Message myself or just message me directly. There's a little bit of information I need from you, obviously your address and things like that, so I can send it directly to your door. But Michael Erickson, you are our first winner. We get two more. My screen's stuck. Give me 1 second. All right. So we got our first winner, Michael Erickson. Our second winner. Oops. Our second winner, Brad Mann. Brad Mann, you are our second winner. Oh, I'm sorry about that. So looks like we had two winners jump in. So you know what? Based on my error, tonight we are going to have four winners. Michael Erickson, Bobby Perry, Jennifer Belcher, and Brad Mann. All four of you are the winners tonight. I would hate to have Brad Mann get disqualified for my own technical errors. So we have four winners tonight. Brad, you just happen to luck out because I am not tech savvy. And so if you are one of the four winners tonight, be sure to message me directly so that I can provide you with your free gift. So again, those winners are Brad Mann, Jennifer Belcher, Bobby Perry, and Michael Erickson. Message me directly, and I will ensure that you get the exact product that you choose from.
Oh, you froze, brother. Hey, that happens.
It's all good. So anyway,
you're back.
We back? Okay. Like I was saying, congratulations to the winners. Just message me directly. I'll send you the three catalogs for our online stores. You just tell me exactly what you want. You pick any one product, and I will send it directly to your door. And then you can send us a beautiful picture of it with you so we can share it with the world that you are benefiting from the amazing products. But all that being said, guys, if you received value here tonight, share this with somebody that you believe can also gain value from it. If you know another veteran who's struggling, if you know somebody who could benefit from being part of OVF, pay attention to the group this weekend, because we have something really special that's actually going to be dropping tomorrow that's really going to help, I think, veterans' lives change and your lives in particular. And so definitely pay attention to the group. Keep your head on a swivel and eyes on the group tomorrow for one of Liam's posts, because Liam's going to be sharing with you a brand new thing that he and I are going to be implementing into OVF that we think is really going to help bring the value. So all that being said, guys, I'm going to let Liam.
Wait, I've got a question. Can I throw another challenge out there? I didn't do it last time. I want to throw another challenge.
Get it, brother.
Okay. Anyone who completed that S.M.A.R.T.E.R, we're going to have a 30-day goal. I want you to set yourself a S.M.A.R.T.E.R goal, complete it within 30 days with documentation. Look for a post, because we're going to have you submit it there. You're responsible for providing this. And anyone who does this is going to receive a special gift from us later.
That is correct. I forgot about that. I'm glad that you brought it up. We did talk about that previously, and special gifts will be coming for all of those who take action on what we learned here tonight and really set themselves a 30-day goal, document it, and like Liam said, keep an eye out for the post. It's going to have all the details on how that works. That being said, Liam, close us out for the night, and then I will say goodbye. I'll close us out. It's really what I wanted to say.
Bye-bye. Sorry, just following orders.
To the T.
Yes.
You got anything to share with the OVF members, brother, before we call it?
As always, I'm grateful to be able to help every one of you that is willing to ask for the help necessary to better your lives through the lessons that we've been able to overcome and learn from. We've had our own issues. Chris has had different issues than I have when becoming entrepreneurs. And between us, we have a lot of lessons to help you hit the learning curve, and shorten that a lot less than what it would take if you were to try it on your own. So use our knowledge. We've been there, we've done it, and we're just like you. We're veterans. We're looking to help uplift the rest of the veteran community, just like we've had it done for us.
Boom. Now I know what it's like to follow somebody who's good at speaking. Last week you were like, I don't want to follow you anymore. No, and just to kind of add to what Liam excellently said, guys, like we love what we do here, and we fortunately get to share with you the growing pains and obstacles and experiences that we went through in order to make sure that you can, jump over them and get to success even quicker. And, just like the comment below says, OVF is the fastest way to level up your freedom and success. And, those of us who are those people that are working with us directly, they're loving it. They love what we're doing. They love working with us. They love the life that's becoming available to them. And it's truly a blessing. It's a blessing, when Liam and I, and you probably, if you go back to any video, you probably heard me say this before, when Liam and I set out to start OVF and build this mission, all we wanted to do was take what we were experiencing, the amazing lives we were getting to build for ourselves, and show veterans that there's hope, that there's actually another option, that there's other ways to create that don't involve working for somebody or dealing with PTSD symptoms or any of the other things that usually stop us. There's a way to achieve massive success, generational wealth, all from the comfort of your home. And we're perfect examples of it. And so the fact that we get to live that every day and be living examples, social proof of what's possible. And now, not only us, but we have other veterans who are coming through who are now also becoming that social proof too. We've even got a few on the call tonight. There's David, Patrick's starting to work with us here recently, about to start working with us. David's been working with us. Mike Wokener's been worked with me in the past on other projects. You know, there's Ethan's working with us. So there's veterans on this call even tonight who are already benefiting and getting to experience something that was just a dream for us 4 months ago, guys. And that to me is just so powerful. And that to me is the main reason why I want to say to you guys tonight, thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for your trust, for your loyalty, for your dedication to Liam and I, your fellow veterans, and what OVF can really achieve for this entire community. And guys, we are just touching the iceberg. We are just scratching the surface of what's possible. And I am just so excited to get to know more of you even deeper, because the ones that I have had a chance to connect with, work with, help, build businesses with, I'm now friends with. Like, it's just amazing to see. And so I could go on and on and on all night about how grateful I am to be here, to be a part of this, to have my visions and mine and Liam's vision become a reality. But at the end of the day, guys, what I really want to emphasize is that I'm not special. Liam's not special. We may be a little bit ahead of the curve than you guys, but we're no different than you. And what we are seeing today, what we are achieving today, what's possible for us today is exactly what's possible for you. And when you take action and reach out to us and let us help you, we can show you the most effective and simplest way to get exactly where we are and beyond, so that you too can truly start living a life worth the sacrifice that all of us have made. And so with that being said, guys, have an amazing night. Have an amazing rest of your week. We have a fire skill set training coming for you next week. If you guys have ever wondered the mysteries and the secrets and the formulas behind proper posts and engagement and really how to attract people to you, we're going to be diving deep into that next week. And so with that being said, guys, have a great night, great rest of your week. We love and appreciate each and every one of you. If you ever need us, we're only a message away. As a matter of fact, message us anyway, because we're here to help you. Have a great night. Peace.